Hi, my name is Erica Waters, and this is your Belmont Writing Center Tutor Tip. Sometimes students have trouble with narrowing down their paper topics. Usually, they try to take on too big of an idea in a really short paper and need help narrowing down the topic to a manageable size. So today, I want to show you how to go from a general idea to a really focused paper topic. We will come up with a research question and then develop that into a really focused thesis statement. Once you've got your thesis statement, you'll be able to easily outline the rest of the essay. Okay, let's go. All right, so let's take a general topic like infectious diseases. Now, obviously, that's way too big for, let's say, a 5 to 7 page essay for your first year writing class. That's way too big. We could write volumes and volumes on infectious diseases. So we're like, all right, well, let's see, how do we narrow? Let's go down a little bit. Well, we might narrow down to viruses, but that could be any number of things, and once again, is way too big for a 5 to 7 page paper. So let's see if we can get a little more specific. Let's pick one specific virus. And I'm going to pick the one that is on all of our minds right now, which is COVID-19, the novel coronavirus. Okay, but once again, that's way too big of a topic. We could go so many different places with this topic. We could talk about how the virus works, where it originated, how it originated. We could talk about what that virus's transmission looked like in Italy versus South Korea. There's so many things we could talk about related to COVID-19. I think for the purposes of this paper, let's choose something really practical, which is how to reduce transmission of COVID-19. All right, so that's really focused, really practical. We'll be able to find a lot of information on that and be able to share it pretty succinctly and helpfully. Okay, so we have a topic. Now what I'd like to do is turn it into a research question that we will attempt to answer. Because once again, we're going to be narrowing down because we could talk about, well, what can governments do? What can health agencies do? But for the purposes of this paper, maybe let's focus on individuals. So here's my research question. How can individuals reduce the transmission of COVID-19? Okay. All right, we have our research question, and now what we're going to do is turn it into a thesis statement. Now, we know that a thesis statement is the building block for your essay. It is the foundation on which the rest of your essay is going to be built. So it needs to be comprehensive. It needs to cover the big ideas of your paper, and it needs to be as focused as it possibly can. Okay, so since our question is how can individuals reduce the transmission of COVID-19, I think our thesis is going to focus on some ways that they can do that. Okay, so let's start here. Individuals can reduce the transmission of COVID-19 by, well, here's where we come up with some of the content for our essay. We know washing hands is a big deal, so by washing their hands frequently. We know that we should avoid going to public places, so let's say staying home as much as possible. And of course, we know that when we do go out, we need to keep 6 feet away from everyone else. So let's say, and practicing social distancing when they need to go out. Okay, so that's actually a pretty solid thesis statement. It tells us most of what the essay is going to be about. However, I think we can take it up a notch by adding a sense of why this matters. I always ask students, so what? Who cares? Why is this important? Well, once again, we could go in a few different directions. We could talk about, the economic repercussions of the virus spreading. We could talk about individual responsibility. There's so many things we could talk about. I think for the purposes of this essay, let's focus on something really specific, which is just that the virus itself is really, really contagious. So we could say, all right, because of the highly contagious nature of the virus, or let's say of COVID-19, fix my spelling error. Okay, because of the highly contagious nature of COVID-19, it is imperative that individuals wash their hands frequently, stay home as much as possible, and practice social distancing when they need to go out. Okay, so now we've got a thesis statement that tells us what the essay is going to be about and also tells us why the essay is important. This is an important matter because the virus is contagious. And so we know exactly what this essay is going to be about. It's not going to be about what the government is doing. It's not even going to necessarily be about what health agencies are doing. This essay is specifically going to focus on what individuals can do to keep themselves and others safe from the novel coronavirus. So now we've gone from a really general research topic, which would be infectious diseases. We've narrowed it down until we have this focused, comprehensive thesis statement that's going to help us build the rest of our essay. And now that we have a thesis statement, writing the rest of the essay, or at least outlining the rest of the essay, should be pretty simple. We can see how the rest of the essay will flow just from this thesis statement. All right, so that is how you narrow down an essay topic and develop a thesis statement. I hope this was helpful, but if you have questions, you should consult your professor or visit us in the Writing Center. Thanks a lot.